I want to pick your brain a little bit about presidential candidates, and um, I take exception with a little bit of what you're doing. I don't know that I agree with this whole Biden needs to drop out situation that people kind of got going on right now. And the only reason I say that is because if he does drop out, who is going to replace him? What are we going to do at the last inning of the damn game? What are we going to do?
Well, you seem to have your idea already. So what do you what do you think is the actual winning what do you think is the actual winning formula? And then I'll tell you what I agree with or what I disagree with.
Okay. Wow. Do I want to be this transparent and vulnerable in this moment? Okay, I will. And I promise I'm not saying this with any intent to sway anyone or disenfranchise anyone. But if I'm being totally honest and speaking from my heart, I don't think that the Democrats are going to win. I
So
don't.
then why do you care about whether Biden's there or not?
I care because Amanda, I have to fight, and I have to have the faith of a mustard seed, and I have to hope that some
Okay.
divine intervention will kind
Do
of
you think
come in.
he is the divine intervention? Do you think he's going to attract that?
uh, I am in a defeated place of it's just all we got right now, and nobody of everyone saying he needs to leave. No one is saying he needs to leave and this person needs to step up, and who it is. So I get the he's feeble, old, and about to die. I get that, but if he's gone, then what? Because if we honestly think if America did not vote for a white woman, they damn sure ain't voting for a black one. That's my position.
Okay, so here's my counter. First of all, let me just say that I never was saying like he needs to step down. I just knew that he was going to.
Okay.
I have always known that he was not going. I just knew I have the gift of sight. And a lot of times, sometimes I miss, but a lot of times I'm right. And I have a video from October 19th where I was like, I just don't believe he's going to be the candidate. One of the reasons why I believe that is because he was never supposed to run for a second term. What ended up really roping him into all of this has been the movement of Israel into Gaza at the extreme level that they have. And I think we have to always remember, y'all, let's always remember, we only know what they're telling us. There's so much that be happening behind the scenes. So I'm just going off of what I'm watching in front of me because that's all I know. I'm not in the house. I don't have that type of intel. Joe Biden, Donald Trump, any candidates that are running for office, before they're serving the American people, they are serving the American corporations that fund America.
Okay.
They are also serving the lobbyists. The Israel lobby, which is made up of a number of PACs and interests that are protecting the state of Israel. They are very, 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 very involved in how our country moves forward. So when you put those two together, they also end up affecting like how the electoral college is going to end up placing their final votes.
Okay.
The people, our votes, influence what they are going to ultimately decide. We don't. I know that I know that it may feel frustrating to know this, but our votes on a federal level for the president are not counted one and one. Mm-hmm. The popular vote is reviewed, but we have seen with the case of we've seen with the case of Al Gore, we've seen with the case of Hillary Clinton. If they decide we actually think this will be better for what we're trying to do, then they'll just go with who they think is going to be better for what they're trying to do. So no, that's not true. Biden dropped out 30 minutes ago while I was on here.
Hold on now. We did. Hold on. Hold on. Let her keep
hold on. Yeah, he's going to go. Yeah, I call this with a cordless phone. Okay. I'm seeing all this like 19 minutes, 17 minutes. It's happening. It's happening. Okay. So I'm setting this up because I need us to look, I need us to consider this beyond what I think a lot of people sell it to us as, which is like, if you vote for this thing, then this is going to happen. And that's not a really fair concept. Like, that's not a fair concept. So when you're talking about Biden and like, there's no one else that can replace Biden, et cetera, it's not about Biden just getting the populace. It's about that candidate also serving the corporations and the lobby. And if the corporations and the lobby feel like Joe Biden is not going to serve them, they'll get rid of him. Mm-hmm. The people didn't get rid of Joe Biden. You think me on Instagram saying, watch this nigga quit. You think I got rid of Joe Biden? No. Mm-hmm. The people at the top have decided, you not it. You not that girl. Now the question becomes why? Why did they decide he's not that girl? What was it about Donald Trump? Like these people have meetings. They sit around campfires. They go to, Fort whatever and Bohemian Grove, and they make these decisions. And they give us this false sense that we are the ones who are actually pushing it. But what we are the popularity contest. We're the popularity contest to show who has more power over the populace. Now, right now, it is very clear that Donald Trump has more power over his populace than Joe Biden. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden does not have power over his populace in the same way that Donald Trump does. And people do not have faith in Joe Biden the way that people have faith in Donald Trump. Now, of course, that faith is drummed up cult-like behavior, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But I think that what the biggest mistake is that a lot of people have only been talking to other Democrats, or they're only talking to other Black people. And there are large swaths of communities out here beyond Democrats and Black people. Mm-hmm. Arab people in America are not voting for Joe Biden. They're not voting for Donald Trump either.
They're just not voting.
They're not voting because there is an actual genocide happening in Palestine. People who feel very strongly about that are not small in number. It's very real. Gen Z is who saved this country from a red wave, so to speak, in the midterms. Gen Z votes. Gen Z, in very large numbers, does not fuck with Joe Biden. So Joe Biden, hold on now. Let me just finish this thought. Joe Biden sent riot police to Gen Z's colleges to shut them down. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden pushed through a TikTok ban. Joe Biden did not ratify or codify Roe v. Wade. Gen Z is not dumb. So Joe Biden, as a symbol, right, for like strength or change to like challenge the next phase of things, is not going to cut it. Mm-hmm. What just happened in France is something very similar to what's happening here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they have a presidential government. Their president is this cat, Macron. Macron is, he's centrist. I mean, he's not like a left-leaning nobody. He's centrist. He's like Joe Biden. Like, I'm a Democrat, but I ain't really trying to like turn shit up. Mm-hmm. But then there was these cats on the right who are like the MAGAs. Mm-hmm. And they was like, well, we about to turn shit the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And he was like, damn, they really getting cooking. Like, they really getting cooking. Like, how are we going to beat this? And so what he was forced to do was to cozy up with some folks that were a little bit more left mm-hmm. than the Democrats, than he really is. He had to coalition build. Mm-hmm. So I say all that to say that the reason why I feel like they're removing Joe Biden is because they need to bring someone in that can be a fresh energy that isn't associated with this genocide in the same way, that isn't associated with a failure to clear student loans in the same way, that isn't associated with just literally being an old white man in the same way, because the country is very loudly saying, we want something different. And if you're only speaking to the same people, then you may not feel that, but I really make it my business to like, kind of go beyond just my perimeters. And I believe that what would have to happen is Kamala would have to be, well, so first, let me tell you, the reason why that Kamala is the only option is because the donations that people have given to the campaign have to go to the people who they donated to.
Donated to. Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes her a shoe-in for the number one spot, essentially.
Yes. So then who would be her VP?
Okay.
And that's really the question. But truth of the matter is, if they're savvy, they could find a VP that could rally the populace and get people who are apathetic, get people who are like, I don't even care about voting, get people who are really just angry, so willing to say, okay, I'll compromise.
Can you, if you were on the VP search committee and you had to come up with just a quick short list of 3 names that people know, who would you think? I'm going to go ahead and throw Beto O'Rourke out there.
I was about to say Beto first.
Okay.
I was about to say Beto first.
I love Buttigieg.
I was about to say Buttigieg as well. So for somebody who said they don't know who could do it.
I mean, I told you I'm smart, just lazy. That's all. You know, I'm a rich white woman. None of this really affects me. You know, my man, he works, and like I have power by proxy. I have power by proxy, my man. Okay, Buttigieg.
Buttigieg, Beto. I mean, I do feel like it would have to be a white man. Buttigieg, Beto, Newsom. There
it is right there. There it is right there. I love Newsom. I love Gavin. There it is right there. There it is right there. But let me ask you a question.
It's not too late for that, Sonia J. Stop saying that. It's not. France did this in 3 weeks. What is it too late for? We have the internet. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and to your point, Amanda, and to Sanjay's point as well, because I am a little longer in the tooth, and I was of the it's a little too late school of thought. However, when you just broke down to me the young kid thing, and if they are going to be the make or break potentially of this election, then it's not too late, because a new face clears up all that Palestine stuff. It clears up all the Roe v. Wade stuff. It clears up a lot of things for them, especially if they're the ones who are going to swing this thing left or right. So
even bringing it back to Project 2025, like Trump brought JD Vance on as his VP, not because he's going to win Ohio. He was already going to win Ohio, and Ohio actually hates JD Vance. 2, not because JD Vance has some like really great track record of legislation. He's literally the youngest of the options that was there. He brought in JD Vance because JD Vance is the extremist. He really does get down with all the Project 2025 stuff. Like, he is backed by them. So in the antithesis of that, you would think, now this is just me hoping that people can be logical. You would think that they would say, okay, we'll have someone who can back, the left side of things, to your point, right? Someone that can really wake people up. Now, someone said that it can't be Gavin because they're both from California.
They're not doing nothing.
I really want y'all to know something. This country will do whatever it wants to do. So, for instance, when in October, when I was saying this, people were like, it's too late. It's too late. They'll never get him on the ballot. Ohio literally changed the law so that
they could get him on the ballot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's but the biggest thing that I need people to really understand is that the government's not going to save you. That's what I think people really, 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 really need to understand. The government is not going to save you. So the government of America has never actively made it its business to protect Americans, like on a federal level. Now, even though we throw all this money into the army and, going overseas, et cetera, what we understand when we really, really start researching is that it actually makes it more dangerous for us, the way them folks be going over here and messing up everybody's country and bombing everybody and their kids and all of that shit. But I think that it's really important for us to know that we've had blinders on because the media in America doesn't talk about other countries. And so we don't have a lot of examples to look at for how we can operate. We don't have a lot of examples, a lot of frames of reference to be like, oh, well, they did that over there. We could do that over here. And so that tricks us into apathy. It tricks us into being defeated. It tricks us into thinking there's only one way to exist. So a lot of this is like, let's expand our minds. Like, let's try and add to our feed. Like, okay, if we got a bunch of fuck shit on our Instagram feed, maybe just add Al Jazeera.
You want to know something
Maybe
funny? One of my favorite quotes from Nikki Giovanni when she was having that conversation with
Aldrin.
James Baldwin, when she said, "If we can't make new assumptions, we can't dream new outcomes." And I'm like, you know what? I was like, you know what, sis? I knew I was going to need that quote one day. I knew I was. I'm such a nerd. I have a whole list in my phone of like quotes that I keep. I know I'm gonna.
Ooh,
I know that I'm
I
gonna
want to
need
see the
them one day. I
list.
was like,
Share
I'll
the
put it to you. I know
list,
that I'm gonna need
please.
them one day. But she was like, 'cause that's when he was saying, I can't. She said, you
You
must.
must.
And if you can't, dream or figure out new assumptions, we can't dream or figure out new outcomes. And this is one
It's
of those
true.
situations
This
where
is one of
that
those
holds
situations. That's
true.
why I use France as an example, right?
Yeah. And
Like
that's what made
I
me.
got the opportunity to speak to Nelson Mandela's grandson the other day. Like we
Wow.
did a whole Zoom conversation. It was super dope. Kwaku Mandela. And he was telling me that in South Africa, protesting is a part of their culture.
Okay.
They have more protests in South Africa than anywhere in the world. They have like 2,000 protests a year because when they don't like something, they go out
They
in the
let it be
streets.
known. Okay.
Yes. Here, it's in our constitution that we're supposed to protest, but the ultimate reality is that they don't want us to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I will say is this. Once the decision is made on who is in that position, they can't be no more of this. Well, so-and-so can't win because da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right. We
Cut
got
it
to rock
out.
with it. We got to rock with it.
Rock with it, lean with it, meaning lean into it
Mm-hmm.
and rock with it. Coalition build with your people. The women have saved this country every fucking time. Even before Black women could vote, white women actually, when they got the right to vote, they did what they needed to do to get what they needed to get.
Mm-hmm.
But it really becomes community building. And community building is not like, oh, I got to have an organization. Community building is your group chat. Okay. Community building is you and your girls at the damn nail shop.
Mm-hmm.
Community building is you at the park with your kids talking to the other parents. What y'all doing? Let me tell you. Let me hear.
Carpool line, sorority meeting,
Carpool line, like
hour.
sending this video. And I'm going to give y'all some other resources to check out too. But I feel like.
And I'll put those resources in the description box, everybody, so you can click them and know where to go to. Send them to your friends and always have a forever home for those resources.
Because I think that it's a lot to take in. And, sometimes you got to hear it again and hear it from another source. And, you may be like, Amanda's voice is annoying. Well, then hear it from somebody else whose voice is more soothing. You know what I mean? But ultimately, because there's other options. And we got to know that there's so many people who are out here talking and who feel so passionately about this and really believe that like we got to share this information with everybody. And I want to just impart to folks that we may not win this. We may not win this in the sense that you'll stop Project 2025
today.
But what will happen, what needs to happen is we have to get back to operating as community. That disbanded with integration.
Agreed.
And we need to get back to looking at each other and saying, what can we gain from each other versus what can I take from you?